Hello loves and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to do a Ravenclaw Rants video which is, if you haven't seen the last one, is where I rant about like nerdy things that are happening because your girl is a Ravenclaw and your girl's a nerd. And I feel like this, honestly, doing the Ravenclaw Rants is more like self-care for me, or self-love, because I get to express things in my brain that I you know, I'm just thinking in my head, but I don't post on here. So yeah, this is gonna be me talking about nerdy things that I love. So today I'm gonna be reviewing Wednesday, which just came out on Netflix. I am a little late on reviewing it because I was waiting for my wife to fly back from work in order to review it, because we had to see it together, and she was doing the same thing. Like, she couldn't watch it when she was in Miami, but whole nother thing. So we finally watched it, and we ended up binge watching it because, of course. So we ended up watching it in the day, and I absolutely loved it. Let's just start with that. I absolutely loved it, and I'm gonna give you my little mini rant as to why I absolutely loved it. So yeah, so starting with Jenny Ortega, she killed it. If you see me looking down, because I'm looking at the iPad, because I don't remember everybody's name, so I have to like I have the whole actors list pulled up here. But she was amazing as Wednesday. She definitely killed it. She embodied it very, very well. I'm so glad a Puerto Rican got that role. Like, I mean, obviously, because the family is technically Latino, if I'm not mistaken. The Addams family, I mean, they have Latino heritage, the Gomez and all that stuff. So I'm glad that that was casted properly, I guess. But she did a really good job with the role. I love murder mysteries. I am a big murder mystery like nerd. I love murder mysteries since I was little. I just love murder mysteries. Like, my favorite superhero is Batman, whole as detective. I love Sherlock. I love like all types of murder mysteries. One of my favorite like movies is Clue. Like, I love murder mysteries. So I love the fact that this show ended up being a murder mystery, but like definitely it's like a supernatural one. I love Nevermore Academy. I thought it was cool that they didn't like play into, I feel like a lot of the times that they do like a supernatural school, it ends up leaning towards Harry Potter, but it literally didn't remind me of Harry Potter at all. It felt like its own universe within our own world. So that was cool. Like, I really enjoyed that. But she definitely did really well as Wednesday. And I love that the whole beginning of the show started off with her handling a bully. And this goes hand in hand with a lot of the conversations that was happening around, who was it? I think it was Bianca, who played Bianca Barkley, because people were saying that she was a bully in the show, and I definitely didn't get that perception that she was a bully at all, especially with her story arc. If she was a bully, I think Wednesday would have ended up like her, because of the way she handled bullies literally in the first scene. Like, she threw piranhas into a pool because they bullied her brother Pugsley, and I was like, I didn't get the perception that Bianca was a bully at all. She was definitely like the queen bee. Okay, well, I guess we can talk about this now. So some of the characters that I thought were really cool, Bianca was one of them. I love that they had sirens, because what? I absolutely loved that, you know, they were using that for the benefit too, especially with the race, and having like one of the sirens go into the water and like basically sabotage everybody else's like boat situation. I thought that was actually pretty cool. I thought that it was cool that the way that they used her power, but I also thought it was cool the way that she kind of resented her power in many ways, because, you know, she never knew if she could trust other people. I really enjoyed the fact that she played the queen bee, but she broke so many queen bee stereotypes for me, like mean girl stereotypes for me. And why do I say that? Because like literally right in the so she fit the mold of a queen bee stereotype in the beginning, right? So in the beginning, she was like, with the whole fencing situation, like she obviously has like that power. She has a sense of power, which is great, because obviously a queen bee is going to be in power, but she's also a siren. So that also adds another level to, you know, her being in power, right? And then, but the stereotype of the queen bee is this. So girl moves to new town, goes to school, and either falls for the ex-boyfriend of the queen bee, or ex-boyfriend of the queen bee falls for her. And so queen bee decides that she's gonna terrorize new person in town because she's jealous. Like, let's literally, if you look at every single teen movie cliche stereotype of what a queen bee, like mean girl is, it's that. And that story has been so done and boring, and it's just, it was perfected in Mean Girls, but it's been overdone to the T. Like, it's just been, I'm over it. So I was so happy that she actually broke the mold. Like, if you look at her story arc, she actually has a story, and I really enjoyed like watching her scenes, because I felt like, oh, I was so surprised by her. I was like, oh, she's breaking the stereotype. She's breaking the stereotype. Oh my God, she's breaking the stereotype. Like, I was so excited, like just watching her scenes, like that tipping point where she invited Xavier to the dance. Like, the way that she invited him to the dance, it just felt like she genuinely like cared about him. It didn't feel like she was trying to be sneaky, even though that's what, again, through the stereotype of a queen bee, that's what you expect, that Regina George like kissing what's his name, whatever, Sanders, whatever his name is, at the party, so they could get back together right in front of, you know, like that kind of scene. Like, I like, it should have felt like that, but it didn't. It felt like she was just genuinely asking him to the dance, and I loved her dress. It was all scales, like giving, you know, giving very much siren, right? And then at the dance, when he asked her to use her power, which is why he broke up with her, to make him forget Wednesday. And then she had that moment where she was like, what? And then she kind of snapped at him, like, that's literally what the problem you had with me and what was about, like, what the hell? And she walked away, and then she was just sitting away, like, just kind of thinking about, like, why she dislikes her ability. And it just gave her so much depth as a character, because she could have literally manipulated him right there. Like, if she was any other queen bee in any other queen bee movie, she would have flipped the script. She would have just been like, okay, you're mine now. Like, you know, like, she would have done that, but she didn't. And then she went on to end up becoming like a friend of Wednesday, which was really cool to see in the way that it happened. Because even when the whole Wednesday's, what was it, Christmas gift or something, her birthday gift from her roommate, when it got, she left it in the diner or whatever, and Bianca was on a date. When she left it and they asked her, oh, could you bring it to Wednesday? She didn't put like poison in the thing. She didn't do it. She just literally brought it to her room. Like she was at peace with Wednesday existing in her school. Like, she didn't terrorize her. Like, it didn't happen. Like, so like watching her story arc was interesting, because even when it came to her like in her mom, like that whole mystery behind it, I'm excited to see more of it in season 2. But the whole mystery behind, like, okay, there's something going on with her mom, and she doesn't trust the person she married, and there's something going on with these bracelets, and we're gonna have to watch season 2 to figure out what that is. Like, I thought that was cool that she has her own thing. Then we find out that she might have like manipulated her way, like used her siren powers to manipulate her way to her school in order to escape her mom. So that was also pretty cool. Like, I want to know more about that. Like, I want to know what's going on with Bianca. Like, I want to know. And then she ended up having to come to terms that she had to use her power to get everybody, to save people in the school, to like get people to calmly exit the school instead of freaking out that something bad was going to happen. So she was just like calming everybody out, and she was literally, and then at the end scene, she showed up out of nowhere and attacked the bad guy. Like, I was like, I didn't expect it to be her. I expected it to be the B guy. What's his name? Eugene. I expected it to be Eugene because Eugene had left the hospital, but it ended up being her. And I was like, Bianca, you're surprising me. You're breaking stereotypes. Like, oh my God. Like, I was really excited about like her story arc. Like, I felt like there's some mystery there. There's some character development. There's a lot going on. I thought her story arc was really cool. Like, well, you know, Wednesday was over here being a detective and being like, okay, I was attacked and I was like, there's been attempted murders and stuff. I'm so happy I have to solve this. Like, which I'm totally with her about that. I thought Bianca's arc was really interesting, and like there was this whole other like thing going on, and she literally didn't feel like a queen bee to me. She just felt like she was one of the other students in the school. She even apologized to Wednesday for getting her expelled, which was she wasn't trying to do, which a queen bee would have been trying to do, like a mean girl queen bee would have been trying to do. I don't know, like I just felt like she had such a beautiful story arc. I love seeing it. Now, one of my favorite characters was Xavier or Savior, however you say his name. I loved his like character because I thought it was cool how they introduced art and like the subconscious mind, and how like he's able to through art see the monster and stuff. Like it was just really cool how he was able to tap into that energy. And I can talk about dreams and being able to tap into things and stuff like that all day. You guys know you guys know, but I really just enjoyed like how he ended up getting frames, and I also loved how you didn't know who the bad guy was throughout the whole thing. Like you still were trying to figure out who was who, like who done it basically, which is again one of my favorite genres is mysteries. I love mysteries. I love reading mysteries. I love the movies. I love the games. I love everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed, you know, seeing the battle of the, you know, the normies and the outcasts, and his kind of moody kind of thing, but also his infatuation with Wednesday. I thought it was cute. He did not just paint her over here like, come on now. In that case, I am definitely Team Savior. I do not care for Tyler at all. I thought he was like as dry as a chalkboard. But yeah, I just felt like Xavier like understood her. Like he just understood her personality and would captured it through art, and I respect that. I love that because I also love like that, just art in general. I love so expressing passion or emotion through art is something that I resonate a lot with, so I really appreciated his character. Now as far as like the Addams family, like I thought it was interesting the way that I loved just seeing them like when they were like teens as well. That was really cool the way they played the story arc. It was interesting. I still think like okay, Morticia was good, I feel like, but it's not gonna be the character. It's never, to me, I feel like you can't beat Gomez and Morticia from the movies because they're just so iconic. Like they're very iconic. Like Wednesday, yes, I like that Christina Ricci like came back and played like a different character on the show, but she definitely was iconic in the movies as well. But there's something about Gomez and Morticia in the movies that are just so good. I really loved Morticia, but Gomez, he was alright. He wasn't my favorite Gomez. That's just what I'm gonna say about that. Enid was cool. I think she was definitely the opposite of Wednesday. I love their room. I wish I had the windows like that. Like that was such a, I love like their friendship. And I love like how she kind of sweetened Wednesday a little bit. I thought it was just so good. I love the aesthetics, the visuals. I thought it was produced really well. I know Tim Burton was one, I think he produced it or directed a couple episodes, I don't know, but it definitely had his touch. It has his aesthetic. But I really just love how they broke a lot of different cycles. There were some things that didn't make like sense for the show, like having the what was it, I think the mayor owned the Pilgrim like the what is it, an amusement park, like basically like a, how do I say, it's not an amusement park, but it's kind of like an entertainment kind of thing, like where people just go visit and have the pilgrim experience. I thought it was weird for him to do that, for him to be the one to do that. That was weird. The dynamic with the bullies too was very interesting as well. I was like, some of it is like okay. The whole pilgrim thing was like, I know that with the Addams family and with Wednesday too, she's always calling out colonialism and she's always calling out the hypocrisy. She's always like standing up for natives and like really throwing it in non-people of color's face about, you know, colonialism and stuff. So I love that about her because we love that. So I knew that they had to, she always plays into this like very much throwing colonialism in their face. So I knew that the pilgrim thing was there in tone. I guess they took that from the movies and tried to turn it into a thing, but it didn't make sense for someone of color to be owning that, because it's like, it's a little tone deaf. That was a little tone deaf. And I've seen some of the criticism on that I can agree that was a little tone deaf. I can't agree that Bianca's character was like, it's racist to cast her as a person of color though. I can't agree with that because her story arc was so like interesting to me. Now for the son of the mayor who owned the pilgrim thing, for him to be a bully as well, but even though his character arc also evolved into something else, I don't know, that one was just kind of a little bit random to me, and just felt out of place. It felt a little tone deaf as far as race goes, but it felt a little tone deaf. Other than that, I really love the show. I'm definitely going to be rewatching it soon. This was like my rant, by the way. This was, oh, and I love Thing. Of course, we love Thing. I love that Fester showed up as well. Just an amazing Fester. I love the play of like the police looking for him and stuff. Like, that was cool. And the resurrection, I was so mad when Thing almost died. Like, I was so mad. But I love Thing. Always love Thing. Always, you always have to love Thing. Yeah, it was just a really good show. Probably one of my favorites on Netflix. I'm glad that it's getting the recognition that it is. I feel like it's really good. I want to see more werewolves, more siren stuff. Like, I love seeing it like in an actual show. Like, I love seeing it. And we'll see more of the mystery. There's definitely a lot of stuff going on. The end of the show was giving me a little Pretty Little Liars vibes. Like, why are you getting a random text? Like, but other than that, I felt like it was a really good show. I want to see more. I love some of the ritualistic aspects. I love like one of my favorite things about the Addams Family is, especially Morticia, is that a lot of spirituality is passed down. So like Morticia does a lot of spells a lot of the time, and she's always conjuring and talking to the dead and doing all this stuff. So Wednesday also ends up doing that. So I really love all of those components. It was chef's kiss. But yeah, that is my review of the show. I can't wait for season 2. They better announce it soon. They better do something. But yeah, I really enjoyed the show. It was visually stunning. They did an amazing job with the costumes and all of the things. I want all of Wednesday's shoes and boots and all of the things. I want them. I love the snap for opening the secret library. I loved it. I love secret libraries anywhere. Like, y'all, if I ever build a house, expect to have a secret library door to another room where I have all of my stuff. Like, expect it. That's one of my favorite things ever. But yeah, I just love all of the aesthetics. It was beautiful. Like, they did a really amazing job with it. But yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting now, which is what this whole video is about. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.